Ah, yes, the rich. The ultra-privileged, the moguls, the tycoons. Expensive cars, private jets, multi-million-dollar yachts. Admit it, you've sometimes wondered what it would be like to be wealthy. You've thought about all the things you would buy, the places you would go. But what exactly is the secret of the top 1%? What do they know about money that you don't? While it's fashionable for the current entitled, lazy, socialist class in America to claim that the rich stole from the poor, deep down inside, you know that's not really true. The majority of the wealthy in the United States actually earn their wealth. They didn't steal it or inherit it, they built it. The rich built their wealth with all different types of businesses, products, and investments. But there's one denominator that is common to most of them that keeps showing up again and again in any kind of examination of their finances. And that is real estate. Whether they built their wealth with real estate or something else, almost all of them use real estate to grow and preserve their wealth. There are 5 massive reasons that real estate is the go-to investment vehicle for the rich. In this video, I will show you what each of them is and how they all work together to make the rich even more wealthy. But the most important thing I want you to understand is that none of these features of real estate are exclusive to the 1%. They are available to all of us. And the sooner you start taking advantage of them, the sooner you'll see your net worth multiply, and the sooner you'll start to believe that this game of money is one that you can actually win. Let's begin. Part 1. Cash flow. Robert Kiyosaki once famously said, "Rich people acquire assets. The poor and the middle class acquire liabilities that they think are assets." And he followed that up with, "Establishing consistent cash flow is how you'll achieve financial independence." Cash flow is the profit that remains after you subtract all of the expenses from the income generated by an asset or a business. In rental real estate, cash flow is gross rents minus all of the expenses, including vacancy, mortgage, taxes, insurance, maintenance, repairs, capital expenditures, and so on. Residential real estate provides the most predictable and attainable type of cash flow of any investment type. The rich understand this concept intuitively. Land is finite, and people will always need a place to live. Control the land and the structures on it, and you control the key to one of the most fundamental human needs. There are currently approximately 45.2 million renter households in the United States. This represents roughly 34% of all households. And importantly, this number is actually growing. According to research published by Redfin, America's renter population is growing 3 times faster than its homeowner population. In 2023, the number of renter households increased by 1.9% overall. What this means is that residential rental real estate as an investment class is one of the most secure and stable classes of investment in America for the foreseeable future. Yes, you absolutely have to be smart about what you buy and how much you pay for it, but it would be a colossal mistake to intentionally avoid this class altogether because you're worried that prices are too high or that you can't find a good deal. Good cash flowing deals absolutely exist. I find and buy them all the time. And if you watch and learn from others who are doing it and who are showing you how to do it correctly, you can find them too. Part 2. Appreciation. 90% of all millionaires became so through owning real estate. Andrew Carnegie. Appreciation is the increase in property value over time. It happens naturally due to inflation, supply and demand, and neighborhood development. But it can also be forced by making improvements, raising rents, or repositioning the asset. Nationally, the average appreciation rate for residential real estate over the past 50 years has hovered around 4 to 5% annually. In hot markets or with value-add strategies, it can be significantly higher. Let's say you buy a property for $300,000. And let's say a few years later, it grows to $400,000 with the rising market. That's a $100,000 wealth gain just from owning it. If you also increase the rents, updated the property, or improved management, its value can rise even more. That's forced appreciation on top. The rich understand this game. They strategically improve their real estate, hold it long term, and let time do the heavy lifting. And the best part? You don't have to time the market perfectly to benefit. You just have to own the assets and let them appreciate over time. Part 3. Leverage. Rich people use debt to leverage investments and grow cash flows. Poor people use debt to buy things that make rich people richer. Grant Cardone. Leverage is the use of borrowed money to increase the potential return of an investment. In real estate, this means using a mortgage to buy a property. A small down payment lets you control a large, cash-flowing, appreciating asset. For example, say you buy a $300,000 duplex with $30,000 down. The property then appreciates, let's say, 10% over the course of a few years. That's a $30,000 gain on your original $30,000 investment, a 100% return. And that's before factoring in the mortgage paydown or cash flow or any of the other benefits that exist. This kind of high leverage opportunity is extremely rare in other asset classes. Are you beginning to see why the rich favor real estate so much? Once these advantages start stacking up, cash flow, appreciation, leverage, it becomes undeniable. The math is just too powerful to ignore. Part 4. Tax benefits. Anyone may so arrange his affairs that his taxes shall be as low as possible. He is not bound to choose that pattern which will best pay the treasury. There's not even a patriotic duty to increase one's taxes. Judge Learned Hand, Helvering versus Gregory decision. The rich are nothing if not savvy when it comes to minimizing their tax burden. The U.S. has a progressive tax system, which means that the more you make, the higher tax rate you pay. The wealthy are therefore disproportionately targeted, but they also tend to be the most educated about how the system works. And one of their favorite tools is real estate. Real estate is one of the most tax-advantaged asset classes in America, and that's by design. The government needs private investment in housing to keep society functioning, so it incentivizes that investment with tax breaks. Here are just a few. Depreciation lets you deduct theoretical wear and tear on the property, even if the property is appreciating. Operating expense deductions, mortgage interest, repairs, management, utilities, all deductible. QBI deduction, up to 20% of your net rental income can be deducted if your rentals qualify as a business. Cost segregation allows accelerated depreciation of certain components, front-loading tax benefits. 1031 exchange lets you sell an appreciated property and defer paying capital gains tax by reinvesting the proceeds. The rich use all of these. You can too. Part 5. Equity harvesting through refinancing. Don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait. Will Rogers. The only thing worse than not having equity is having equity that you never use. Let's say you bought a multifamily property 15 years ago for $400,000. Today, it's worth $800,000. You've paid down the loan to $250,000. That's $550,000 in equity just sitting there. Most people would sell to access the equity, but then they would pay capital gains, recapture depreciation, and lose the cash flow. The rich don't sell. They refinance. In this example, at 80% loan to value, you refinance into a new $640,000 mortgage, pay off the old $250,000 mortgage balance, and pocket the $390,000 difference tax-free. Why tax-free? Because debt isn't income. You didn't sell anything. You still own the property. And your tenants will now pay down the new mortgage for you, just like they did the first time. 10 years later, refinance again, and then again. And this is how the rich live off their assets without triggering taxes. Part 6. The hard truth and the roadmap. Now, allow me to take a moment to tell you my story. I came to the United States from the former Soviet Union when I was 12 years old. My parents and I didn't speak any English. We had no connections, no money, nothing. We started at the bottom. My parents worked menial jobs. And for a short time, we were even on food stamps. But I went to school, got good grades, got degrees, and eventually became an attorney. Once I started earning real income, I didn't run out and buy a brand new car or a big house like a lot of my peers did. Instead, I saved and I studied real estate like my future depended on it. Because it did. Then I bought a duplex and I house hacked it. Then I bought a triplex, then a fourplex. Then I found business partners and private lenders and bought more. Sacrificing weekends, skipping vacations, delaying gratification while everyone else posted pictures of their new kitchens and new cars. Today, I only work when I want to, on things that I enjoy doing, and I do it on my own terms. I reached financial independence well before 40 years old because I learned how to take advantage of these 5 real estate tools that the rich use every day. But now, here's the hard truth. Knowing all of this won't make you wealthy. Only doing it will. And doing it takes time. It takes patience, and it takes sacrifice. If you want to choose real estate to change your life, here's the roadmap. Number 1, get control of your money. Stop overspending, start saving aggressively, maximize your income. Number 2, fix your credit. Without good credit, you can't access leverage affordably. Number 3, buy your first property. Learn everything you can from it, make mistakes, and grow. Number 4, repeat the process. Stack properties, build equity, and improve your systems. How far you take it is up to you. You can use real estate as a retirement supplement, a path to financial freedom, or a full-on escape from the 9-to-5 like I did. But one thing's for sure, you will have to make sacrifices. That might mean living in a house hack while your friends rent luxury apartments, or skipping vacations while you save for your first deal, or spending your weekends studying markets instead of binging Netflix. Most people aren't willing to do that. They say they want to be millionaires, but they won't get uncomfortable for even a year or 2. But the people who are willing, they change their lives forever. Are you one of them? These 5 features of investment real estate, cash flow, appreciation, leverage, tax benefits, and equity harvesting, aren't reserved for the rich. They're available to you right now. The only question is what you'll do with them. If you're serious about changing your future, hit that like button, subscribe, and check out the next video I linked right here. It shows you how just 5 simple, paid-off properties can help you quit the rat race and retire in 10 years or less. Tap or click the screen, and I'll see you there.